Now, let's move on to what happens within the processor itself to process this transaction. The first thing to observe is that you likely can't have a processor fully on the cloud. You'll need to have a data center or a colo because Visa or MasterCard needs to communicate with a hardware device that is placed within a data center. This is called a Visa access point device or a MasterCard interface processor. And this device establishes a TCP/IP connection with the network, and it's a client-server interface over which ISO8583 messages are exchanged. Most often, this device will interact with a authorizer module, and this may likely be in the cloud. Next, the authorizer interacts with a hardware security module or HSM. This is a hardware that performs cryptographic functions such as CVV and PIN verifications. Last couple of years, companies like FutureX do have cloud HSMs, but many incumbents continue to have HSM devices on their data center. Without going into all the details of what happens in a PIN verification, it's enough to say that based on PCI rules, even encrypted PIN or encrypted CVVs cannot be stored by the issuer. So PIN verification is a bit more complex, involving PIN offsets compared to a simpler password verification process that would occur with a one-way hash matching. So once the CVV or PIN has been verified, it interacts with a restrictions module, which would deny transactions, say if a cardholder is blocked or a card transaction is from a set of merchants that are deny listed, or say if a transaction came in from a country code of North Korea, then you'd reject that transaction. So that happens with the restrictions module. And next, it goes through fraud checks. A very rudimentary example of that would be a geofence, where a cardholder is in California and a card present or a physical card transaction will only be allowed in states in and around California, and the rest of them may be blocked. It also hits up a fee module. So if, say, this transaction was a ATM transaction, then an out-of-network ATM would incur a $2 fee, for example, and the card balance that should have that amount available before the transaction is approved. And of course, the last most important one is the available balance check before the transaction is approved. Now, based on fault tolerance designs, there are companies like, say, Nubank, when they were building out their processor, they did this completely out of the data center without needing any synchronous communication with the cloud ecosystem.